This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Hello and welcome to Pulse of Africa News. I'm Tansai Gabia with the latest. First, our top stories for today. President Tinubu ends rivers emergency. ZANU-PF demands accountability for ministers. Saudi Arabia and Pakistan signed defense pact. Now, the news in detail. President Tinubu ends rivers emergency. President Bola Tinubu announced the end of the state of emergency imposed on Rivers State, declaring that democratic governance would fully resume in the oil-rich state from September 18. The president, in a statement personally signed by him, said his decision followed what he described as a groundswell of new understanding among political stakeholders in Rivers State, 6 months after he proclaimed emergency rule in the state. Tinubu had on March 18, 2025, invoked Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution to suspend the offices of Governor Samnilaya Fubara, Deputy Governor Ngozi Nama Odu, and the 32-member state House of Assembly. South Korea to fund Angola's fishing sector. South Korea's Exim Bank has made available a total of $1 billion credit line to fund the modernization of the fishing sector and the construction of an industrial fish processing and cold storage complex in Angola. According to a statement that the ANGOP had access to, Angola and South Korea signed a financing agreement based on a framework agreement under the Economic Development Cooperation Fund until 2028. The agreement is signed by the Angola Minister of Finance, Vera Daves de Sousa, and the South Korean Ambassador Kwang Jin Choi, aims to restructure and modernize the fishing sector, promote industrial processing and better use of marine resources, reduce fish waste, and improve storage conditions. Tanzania and Kenya cooperate in agriculture. The Director of Policy at the State Department of Agriculture, Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development in Kenya, Peter Owoku, said Tanzania and Kenya continue to deepen cooperation in the agriculture sector, most notably in sorting out challenges facing the maize as the main food product. Owoku said that Tanzania also benefits from the seeds they produce, where they also have input cooperation from the one country to another. In terms of other crops, they cooperate. He said, in terms of technology, we collaborate especially on the research side. Our researchers are good, and they collaborate to exchange experiences and have similar technologies for agricultural matters. ZANU-PF demands accountability from ministers. Ministers are now required to report to ZANU-PF Politburo meetings, giving detailed reports of activities in their ministries to uplift the lives of ordinary people. The move is expected to go a long way in ensuring that the party resolutions made at the conference and other platforms are implemented at government level, given that it is the party that derived the mandate for government from the people, making it superior. Transport and Infrastructural Development Minister Felix Mahona set the ball rolling yesterday when he delivered a report on the state of the roads and the railway network at the 387th Politburo meeting held at the party headquarters. The decision to invite government ministers and heads of department was announced by President Mnangagwa, who is also the party's first secretary. In other news, Brazil's President Lula no ties with Trump. Brazil's President Lula da Silva has told the BBC in an exclusive interview that he has no relationship with U.S. President Donald Trump. Lula has frequently criticized Trump, but this is the clearest signal yet that he thinks communication between him and his U.S. counterpart is now broken. Even though the U.S. has a trade surplus with Brazil, Donald Trump imposed 50% tariffs on Brazilian goods in July, citing that the trial on coup charges of Brazil's right-wing former president, Jair Bolsonaro, as a trigger. Lula described the tariffs as eminently political and said U.S. consumers would be facing higher prices for Brazilian goods as a result. Saudi Arabia and nuclear-armed Pakistan have signed a formal mutual defense pact in a move that significantly strengthens a decades-long security partnership amid heightened regional tensions. This agreement is a culmination of years of discussion, a senior Saudi official said when asked about its timing. This is not a response to specific countries or specific events, but an institutionalization of long-standing and deep cooperation between our two countries. The senior Saudi official, who spoke on conditions of anonymity, acknowledged the need to balance relations with Pakistan's rival India, also a nuclear power.
The story of resurgent Ethiopia and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. All the time, Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Now to business news. Inflation eases further in South Africa. Consumer price inflation eased from 3.5% in July to 3.3% in August 2025. According to data released by Statistics South Africa, softer food and fuel inflation contributed to the cooling of the headline inflation rate in August. 4 out of 13 categories in the inflation basket experienced monthly declines. They include food and non-alcoholic beverages, furnishings, household equipment, transport, as well as information and communication. On a month-on-month basis, inflation decreased by 0.1% in August. Food inflation went down to 5.2% in August from 5.5% in July. Higher price changes were recorded in the meat, vegetables, and nuts, as well as the fruits category. Officials say the higher meat prices are likely the result of the effects of an animal disease, such as foot and mouth disease affecting livestock. Finally, AI may boost global trade, says WTO. Artificial intelligence could boost the value of global trade by almost 40% by 2040, thanks to the cost reduction and productivity gains, the World Trade Organization said. In its latest annual World Trade Report, the WTO identified AI as one of the few bright spots, as the global trading system has been upended by the United States slapping high tariffs on trading partners. WTO Chief Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said AI holds major promise to boost trade by lowering trade costs and reshaping the production of goods and services. She said WTO's simulations suggest AI could increase exports of goods and services by nearly 40% above current trends. Before concluding, let us provide you with the latest updates on global commodities prices. Now to weather updates. That's all for today, and thanks for watching Pulse of Africa.
This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.